Good morning. Welcome to the second episode of Inside Crypto, where, from the perspective of a hedge fund, I'll share how we see things, how I see it as a hedge fund manager, and perhaps how some hedge funds around the world view it. We picked the perfect moment. Does anyone doubt Wall Street's control over cryptocurrencies? Wall Street dragged crypto down after Jerome Powell, Federal Reserve head, announced rate cuts are uncertain. The dollar strengthened, indices collapsed, and crypto crashed. Well, it's just a beautiful period. And you saw Wall Street drag crypto completely down, like the announcement by Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, that further 100% cuts are not at all certain, since Wall Street started pricing in only 2 cuts next year, not 4, as it turned out earlier, after the dollar strengthened incredibly. A moment later, the indices collapsed, and crypto also crashed seconds later. Of course, the indices collapsed in seconds, and crypto also experienced a crash just moments later. Well, maybe I'm exaggerating by calling it a crash, but, well, strong declines. And somehow it doesn't surprise me at all. And what's interesting is that it follows the pattern that I told you about a few weeks ago. As I mentioned the analogy, when the market broke $10,000, it quickly rose to $11,000, corrected to $99,000, then rallied to $18,000, $19,000. I suggested it might be similar this time, but it didn't play out as we pushed above $100,000, clearing stop losses, which I showed in the program. Then the market pulled back. I proposed the thesis that it might be similar this time, and it didn't quite play out that way, because we pushed above $100,000, but that cleared out the stop losses, which I actually showed you in the program, and then the market pulled back. But all of this was within a certain channel, but this acceleration only happened now, just before the holidays, when we almost touched the level of $110,000. And now all this mess after Jerome Powell. And now, I think we're heading towards $90,000, and that's where I would start looking for long positions. I showed you where the liquidations of long positions are and where you can try to catch some meal longs. I pointed out 2 levels to you, $97,000 and around $93,000. And around $93,000, and as you can see, the market pulled back to around $94,000, so it took out those first stop losses, but not the second ones. In the meantime, all those liquidations have shifted. Now that we see how things look, you can see there aren't many liquidations left underneath and not much to scoop up. Few liquidations remain, but the market might pull back around the 90s to catch small liquidations between 91 and 92. A rebound is likely as Wall Street controls everything and crypto can't resist stock market trends. There are very few liquidations left, but I still think the market might try to pull back somewhere around the 90s, maybe to catch some small liquidations between 91 and 92. And then a rebound, of course, since Wall Street is in control of everything. Crypto can't resist what's going to happen with the stocks. In the stock market, we have a situation where there's window dressing at the end of the year with hedge fund managers and investment fund managers. They're trying to keep prices as high as possible to grab the biggest bonuses and commissions for their firms from success fees, so they want to keep those stock levels really high. On the other hand, such a significant rise in the yields of US bonds means that this capital has to flow into the dollar. There's this struggle at the end of the year, and we'll see if the hedge funds give in and the stock market collapses in response, or if they manage to hold on and keep those levels, holding off on selling until the end of the year to maintain those high levels despite low liquidity. The sell-off will probably only start in the stock market next year. Well, I still think that crypto will perform better than the stock market. And even if the stock market gets shaky, it will somehow hold up, as they say, on spit and sticks. And I think the same goes for stocks. There won't be a huge drama, but it won't be easy. If such a scenario were to happen, there would probably be a sell-off in the stock market starting from the new year. That kind of contradicts my forecast. Crypto, because in my opinion, Bitcoin will hit 90,000 and then we'll see another all-time high. So we'll see how it goes. maybe despite everything, the crypto market will just take off, or maybe we'll have a temporary rally after Trump, and only then, or maybe Trump will support crypto more than it seems right now, and we'll see how it plays out. It is what it is. Maybe the crypto market will simply somehow fall apart despite everything, or maybe we will have some temporary rally after Trump and only later, or maybe Trump will be more supportive of crypto than it seems now, and we will see how it goes. It is what it is. At the end of the year, if we want to jump into long positions, that's the strategy I'm taking on my end, around 91, 92, 91 and 92. And then I would be waiting for a new all-time high. On Ethereum, on the other hand, we have much deeper drops. I've mentioned before that Ethereum is just weaker. It reacts with a delay. But as we can see, now that it's come to a correction, it's definitely weaker. I have the impression that it is fundamentally weaker. Not much is happening with altcoins. There's no bull market for altcoins like there usually is after a Bitcoin rally. Maybe this is the best evidence that the bull market for Bitcoin isn't over yet. I'm leaning towards that thesis, even though it doesn't look that way for the stock market. And I'm just curious which market will find an excuse next year to diverge a bit. And look, all the stop losses are wrecked. I told you 2 weeks ago on the last show that you could look for longs around 300, 700, 300, 500. We're simply at 300, 200. And here again, the market has nothing to liquidate, even downwards. So this is quite a good situation, because pushing upwards and liquidating more positions upwards could be an interesting strategy for big money, as these liquidations are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that would be all for today's episode of Inside Crypto. There won't be any more shows until the end of the year. I wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a successful New Year's Eve and a great New Year as well. We'll see each other in the new year, and I hope that then in the new round I'll be able to tell you a bit more constructively how things look from our perspective. Thank you very much. See you later.